Basically, the way I got into motocross, and not just motocross, but the way I got into dirt bikes was my Uncle Brian used to race and still does enduros. And whenever I was a kid, I got a dirt bike. I had a
How old were you?
I don't even know really. I think I was like 3 or 4. I had a JR50 with training wheels. I had training wheels on my bicycle at the same time I had training wheels on my dirt bike. I don't know. It's hard to explain because like other sports, like in school and stuff, I'd try them, and I went out for like baseball and basketball and stuff, but I always just set the bench. And in the back of my mind, I always figured if I was sitting on a bench, you know, I could be riding my motorcycle. This piece of property out here was basically home to me on a dirt bike. If I wasn't at school or swimming, I was here riding my motorcycle. I was diagnosed when I was 12, but I was always weaker than everyone else. I kind of walked with a limp. I kind of swung my hips, kind of like how a girl walks, and just was always was kind of weaker. And then so when I was leaving 5th grade going into middle school, my PE teacher, he said something to my mom. They had a meeting and said, hey, I think he might have something wrong with him. Everyone knows there's something wrong with me though. But maybe I ought to take him to some doctors and get him tested. And then when I was going into 6th grade, they started doing tests on me, did a muscle biopsy. And I think by the time I was going into high school, they actually had it diagnosed, pinpoint to exactly what it was, the type and stuff, limb girdle, which is in my arms and legs. Some people have the muscular dystrophy where they're real bad off, and I've been real fortunate. I mean, we're sitting here today, not in a hospital, So, but once I got diagnosed with that, I was hooked. I wasn't gonna quit riding motorcycles. I've just always liked riding motorcycles. It's been, when I had a 50 and I had training wheels on it, if I wasn't riding that, my uncle, even before I got my own motorcycle, like I was telling you earlier, he'd strap a bungee strap to underneath the seat, and I'd hold onto that, and he'd put me on the front, and we'd go for a ride out in the woods there. So it was always, it's not my fault. The way I look at it is because my grandpa raced enduros, raced in the woods. My Uncle Brian raced. It was kind of, motorcycles are in the family, so it's, my little cousin races 80s, obviously, so